In today's episode, Wendy Jensen shares how she transitioned from corporate leadership to creative entrepreneurship. We're talking about purpose driven branding, starting a small business, and why your values are the most important, powerful growth strategy.
Probably my biggest challenge being an entrepreneur is like the ideas are just absolutely infinite. This whole notion of like, when you build it, they will come, like, it's not true. I thought I would be able to come out of the gates hot because I had all the experience. I'm like, look out, world, here I come. And it just doesn't always work that way. And getting discouraged and down on yourself is the worst way to build a business. It's easy to feel like a failure if you don't get those same rewards. So redefining, I really want to be an entrepreneur, but what do I want out of it? Like, what is success going to look like? And then rewarding yourself for that. Understanding that if you really want to be a small business owner, like using your heart and authenticity is how you stay connected.
Today's guest is Wendy Jensen, who's a corporate exec turned purpose driven founder. She runs Scandinavian Hearts, which is a brand built on heritage, heart, and the belief that business can be a force for deeper connection. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I was looking up on your website, Scandinavian Hearts, this week, and I absolutely love it. Will you tell everybody what you do?
Yeah, of course. So my business is called Scandinavian Hearts, and it quite literally is Scandinavian Hearts. I started designing Scandinavian symbols and designs into hearts, and I started with stickers, and people loved it, and it just grew from there. So yeah, that's quite literally what it is, but it's been a journey getting here.
Awesome. And you left a successful corporate career. What pulled you towards this new direction?
Yeah, so I was a corporate executive for a long time and it was so fun. I loved every minute of it. I was addicted to the projects and the management and the people and all of it. And it was a really, really hard decision to leave, but I was giving it 150% and I wanted something for myself. So I left and I started a consulting business, which was so much fun. And the consulting business really was the beginning of the idea for Scandinavian Hearts. I was meeting with all these companies and small business owners, and I was just so inspired by their work and what they were doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm helping them. I could just help myself. I can do this myself. And so, yeah, I decided to take the leap and start my own business as well.
And what is your background? I thought this background was so cool too, and it'll tie in later to your story. But what was your background in corporate?
Yeah. My title is Director of Site Experience. So I managed the front end of a website and the team. And yeah, we had a ton of traffic, it was a very successful business. And so the scale and the impact I kind of took it for, for granted. I started working on my own and I'm like, where are all the people? So, like I said, like being humbled by working with small business owners was like, I mean, mild to say the least. Like the amount of like blood, sweat, and tears that goes into these small businesses. You think I would run away from it, but it actually what drew me to it because it just felt so real. At my corporate job, it was so transactional, which was really fun because I was obsessed with numbers and you could come in the morning and see like the bump, like you could change something on the homepage to yellow and you could see the impact. So it was just such a fun new challenge to do it on my own where like every little thing means so much and has such a like it's just so much more like smaller and special and time consuming in the most like intimate special way, I guess.
And you have way fewer resources as a smaller company too. So you've got to pick and choose like, okay, are we going to focus on changing the button colors this week versus like today? And then what are we going to do in the next week or month? Because there's less to work with.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the idea is like, I'm an idea person. And I think that's probably my biggest challenge being an entrepreneur is like the ideas are just absolutely infinite. You can kind of like okay, what do I want to do? Like, what feels good to me? Because if it doesn't feel good to you, it's not going to feel good to your customers. And yeah, I think just starting slow is so important and understanding that like it's going to take a minute and that's okay. So I'm the type of person that's up in the middle of the night with my journal, like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do this. And then you're like, where's the team? Who am I gonna who am I gonna ask? And like, okay, okay, I know how to prioritize. I know how to project manage, and yeah, really like leaning in on yourself to do all of it or to prioritize how you're going to do it. But I think that is the big opportunity of being a small business owner is like rolling up your sleeves. And I've never been afraid to roll up the sleeves and actually like being able to figure out all of it on your own is absolutely so rewarding and knowing what triggers to pull and what not to pull and like what you're good at or what maybe you do need help with like because yeah when you are relying on a team all the time you get a little surprised when the carpet's pulled out from under you.
For sure. Even with this podcast, the first few that I did, I was like, all right, I'm going to tape them myself. I call it taping. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm tape them myself. I'm going to edit them myself, make all the graphics. And then I quickly realized like editing is even with software that AI does some of it, like this is something that is very hard and I'm not enjoying. So let me get
Yeah,
help with that piece. But the other things I got to see what I love doing myself and try a bunch of
totally.
stuff. Yeah, I totally get that. So when you transition from being a consultant to, hey, I could do this for myself. I could be doing all this work for myself. What does purpose driven entrepreneurship mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting being in the corporate world. It's so fast and there's so much going on all at the time and it feels so big and powerful and I started consulting with other corporations and that was really fun too, but I realized that like you become like a cog in this wheel. You become like caught in this momentum, which is really fun. But I took my work and my knowledge and experience to small business owners, and it was like pure gold. Like the impact that I could have one on one with a CEO or a founder in 30 minutes was gold to them. And I kind of took it for granted because, you know, you're in these boardrooms, like having these heated conversations, like fighting for funding for your team or whatever. And you miss like the people, like the impact. And, so yeah, working as a consultant one on one with these founders and owners was literally just like so inspiring. And it, yeah, it made me want to do something on my own.
And what is the purpose behind Scandinavian Heart, like the connection that you're looking to build with this company?
Yeah, so I guess that's what I realized working with small business owners is that, you know, they always have these quotes like when you buy from a business owner, you're like impacting their lives. And it seems so silly. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I buy into that. But then when you see the other side of it, you're like, oh, wow. Like you said, you literally are editing at 11 o'clock at night. Like it is you, it's your work, it's your passion, it's your purpose. And, uh, you know, the older I get, I feel like I become more sentimental. And it's like, you know what impact do I wanna have? Like, what do I wanna be known for? And for me, it kept coming back to like family and intention and joy and love. And I love my work and I get really easily caught up in it and I take it very seriously. So there's this element of like, what if I just let it go and had more fun and more joy? And so these little hearts were that I was designing was just giving me so much joy in the home and joy with the kids and joy with the family. And like it was leading to all these amazing conversations and connections. And it was just like the little tiniest thing. And so, you know, ultimately, obviously I have Scandinavian heritage and my family is getting older. My parents I don't have grandparents alive anymore and I have kids and I have this like really strong desire to make our home have meaning and have traditions and I was feeling very stressed and overwhelmed with how to create that for the kids. And in my head it was like, okay, we'll throw giant holiday parties and sing songs and dance around the tree and make amazing baked goods. But in reality, like we're at soccer games and dance recitals and trying to do it all just felt very, very overwhelming. And it kind of felt like I was failing. And so I was thinking about my heritage and what it meant to me. And it's so interesting, these little things, but like hearts, like when it comes to Scandinavia, I was able to live in Denmark. And when I was there, I saw hearts everywhere. And it was just such a special, such a sentimental thing. And it brought me back to being at my grandparents' house or even my childhood home with the decorations. And the hearts are woven into like the blankets and the sweaters. They're in the backs of the chairs. And it's just a really little detail that I realized gave me a lot of joy. So designing hearts with Scandinavian symbols and them, it just, I don't know, it was just kind of like a natural progression when I thought about what my business was going to be and what I love. I'm like, I love hearts. I've been drawn to it. And I've been trying to make this connection to my kids with heritage. One of the first hearts I made was, as an example, this dollar horse heart. So I started with stickers.
Oh,
So this is a
I
dollar horse, which is a very traditional Swedish symbol. And I just put these stickers all over the house. So they're in the windows. I put them on the bathroom mirror, kind of like affirmations, like, it just I don't know, it just feels really grounding. But now when we're out, my daughter's like, "Look, mom, it's a dollar horse." And my heart just melts because I didn't have to like teach her in a very superficial way. And like, it's part of our home, it's part of our life in a very natural way that feels authentic to us. So, yeah, it's not like once a year we have a big party and we feel connected to our family and heritage. It's little things that I put throughout our home so we can feel connected every day.
That's amazing. So it's more subtle, but it's there. Do you have
100%.
any
Yes.
examples of some that you can show us?
Yeah, so this is one of my well, I started with ornaments. So this was my like original design, which is so simple. And I hate calling them ornaments. I call them hanging hearts because I leave them up year round. So they're in the windowsills, like above the sinks. But trying to get people to leave up ornaments year round was a challenge. So I designed a freestanding one so people could leave it up year round. So I have these like on the nightstands and the fireplace mantle. And it's just something that it makes me feel loved and joy. And I see it and it just makes me smile. And so I think, in our busy, busy lives, it's just so nice to have elements in your home that make you feel connected and grounded. I also, like I said, I do Scandinavian symbols. So this is a example of rose mauling, which is a type of art. And then
Ooh,
this is a woven heart, which is a really popular tradition in Denmark. So these are kind of these examples of the symbols, and people love, 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 love them. And I love selling them. People love to buy them. They love to decorate with them, but they don't always understand the meaning of it. And so that's where I jumped to children's to children's books, because I want people to love them no matter what your heritage is, no matter anything, because everyone should love hearts, obviously. But if you are drawn to the design and drawn to the pattern and want to learn more, I wanted a way to really share and pass it down to the kids and the younger generation and keep these stories like alive and fresh. So yeah, I actually brought a couple of my books to share. So this is like an example of the rose mauling heart that I shared. And
cool.
all these books are super personal. So these are some of my grandma's rose mauling pieces that I put in the because we get
Wow.
so many hand-me-downs. I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? And you feel guilty not displaying them. So I put them all in the books. Here's like the woven heart tradition, which is something that, we did with the family. And now each book also has the activity, the instructions. So I can bring these books to the schools and I can make these hearts with the kids. And it's such a fun way. I just think, going from the corporate world, I'm so grateful that for that experience and it was so fun, but it was so for the masses. And being about like this one-on-one for the people just like fills my heart. And it's really, really helped me redefine success and values and priorities. And yeah, it's been fulfilling on like different ways, I guess.
And with the madness of trying new products and writing a children's book and the soccer practice and the holidays and the family, regular life. How do you stay connected to your why as this business grows?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that's really, really, really important to identify before you even start. So being from a big corporate company, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start. I can sell t-shirts, I can sell pillows, I know how to sell stuff online, I can sell it. But this whole notion of like, when you build it, they will come, like, it's just not true. Just not true. So, building something that you're connected to just like feels so much more genuine and more sincere. And like I said, like these hearts are hanging in my windows year round, all day, every day. So for me, it's my business, but it's not, it's my life. And I bring the kids come to my events, they help me design products. We pack our orders together, and like we have the things that we do throughout the day, and the business is one of them. And it's part of our family. I mean, honestly, it was a big reason why I wanted to do this. I felt almost like I had split personalities. I had this identity at work and I had this identity at home. And I really wanted my family and my home and my community to know my corporate identity. And I really wanted my corporate identity to know my family community identity. So having it all be one and being I'm like at the soccer practice on the sidelines making my ornaments, and yeah, it's all together. So
What has surprised you the most about this community as you merge the two yous under one new you?
yeah, I mean, the whole transaction thing was a really not tough pill to swallow, but like it was an interesting thing to get over because I am so corporate. I'm like, okay, if we do SEO, if we do the ads right, if we do like we'll get the conversion. Well, I know how to like make this work. But when you have a personal business, it's the connections are just it's insane. It's like opening up a window and seeing like what what the weather's like. Like you don't know who you're going to meet, you don't know who you're going to be connected to. You don't know the opportunities that are going to come, and like the more you share, the more people you reach out. Like it just starts to multiply, and it's all like personal. It's all based on you. It's not based on like a keyword. It's based on a conversation you had. It's based on a person you met. So it's been so much more personal. I think like my biggest revelation, I think was the question, is just how much more like personal and meaningful it's been. And because it is personal, it does hurt worse when like you get denied constantly or things don't work out constantly because it feels so personal and you're like, this should have worked. It's like the positives override the negatives and like the benefits you get from these connections and really the impacts that you have. I get every single review, every single photo, every single comment is just like it is a real business and it is me, and it just like fills my heart so much.
Does it ever get lonely? Let's
I
talk
mean,
about happy subjects. Yeah,
that
does
is
it ever
a
get lonely?
that's such a good question, and, I mean, that's part of why I'm here with you, and I I love listening to podcasts, I love sharing my story, I love connecting with other business owners and inspiring other people, and yeah, finding community is a big part of it, and I think, you take for granted, like I mentioned before, like that team that you're looking for behind you, like who the rally, like who's excited about this? Who wants it? The family's not always like every day, like, oh, you thought of a new heart? Like, great. Like, so yeah, I mean, 100% it gets lonely, and it's part of, yeah, I think learning how to connect with others and be a part of different communities. And yeah, is so important.
Is there a way that you found connection with both customers and other entrepreneurs?
I mean, a lot of times it's separate. So customers, because my business is so much about like heritage and symbols, there is a huge customer base that is really gravitating towards those stories and traditions, which is really special and fun. And a lot of them will know people or help you introduce to people. But I do miss the corporate world, and I miss that fast pace, and I mean, just the learning and education. Like I said, I do still do consulting. So things change so quick. So I make sure like every morning I read not the news, but I read the industry news. I love podcasts like yours. I love following and being inspired by other entrepreneurs, big and small, that are doing something similar. And I also know that this is like a phase of life that I'm in, and I just think it's so cool. Both of my parents retired at the same job they started at, and I think nowadays, if we have 10 jobs, we can be successful. If we have 20, if we have 5, like, it's just such a blank slate. So, yeah, so it makes me feel better when I get stuck or feel lonely or frustrated, knowing that, like, this is a period of life that I've chosen, and, like, tomorrow I can take action and do something different.
It sounds like it's a fun chapter so far.
Yeah, it's been really fun and super rewarding. And like I said too, like measuring success in different ways has been a really big part of it. When you're at a big corporation, you get success by being rewarded and being recognized and being promoted and getting proud. Like it was this like wheel that I was on, and it was so rewarding, and it was like really real time. And when you're for yourself, back to the loneliness, you're like, yay me. Yay me, like, "Okay, we did it again." So, yeah, measuring, like, success based on, like, the people that you've been able to impact and connect with, and like I mentioned, going to the kids' schools and being able to, like, have them see me, like, sharing these traditions, and like I said, we don't host giant family parties, I'm not the best baker, but I know that these things, these stories now mean so much to them because I've been able to represent it in a way that is special and genuine for us.
That's excellent. What advice would you give someone who's trying to build maybe a slower build, but a purpose-driven brand these days?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say start slow, like you mentioned, because I thought I would be able to come out of the gates hot, because I had all the experience. I'm like, "Look out, world, here I come." And it just doesn't necessarily always work that way, and getting discouraged and down on yourself the first weeks, months, or years is the worst way to build a business. So knowing that it's okay if it takes time, and giving yourself that time and space. And one thing that I did learn working for the company is, like, failing fast was one of our mottos, is fail fast, and it really gave me the freedom to try stuff, and it's okay, like, it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't work, and, just being able to recognize that, "Okay, that didn't work, let's try something new," and really, for me, redefining success was really key. So writing it down, messaging it, because you s you s it's easy to feel like a failure if you don't get those same rewards. So redefining, I really want to be an entrepreneur, but what do I want out of it? Like, what is success going to look like? And then rewarding yourself for that. But yeah, definitely 100% starting small, finding what you're passionate about and what you're interested in, and something that's just a piece of your life that you can share in a really authentic way, is just so much more important than like screaming from the masses that you sell black t-shirts.
Do you have any tips for when you do go into the dumps or you do think, "This is slow"? How do you get yourself back into the, "This is okay, we got this, we're doing the right stuff" mindset?
That's a good question. I mean, I do like follow a lot of people that inspire me. I do read a lot of stories about inspiration. Like I said, listen to podcasts like yours to see like, oh, I'm not alone. Like other people are, oh, this is part of the journey, like recognizing that. But I do like try to pause and write, like sometimes just be in my journal, and I get really like ADD online, and I'm like, "Oh, I could do this. I could do this." And it's so fun, and like the things that we have access to these days is infinite, and like I said, my ideas are infinite, but really just like sitting with yourself in a notebook and giving yourself like an hour or two every once in a while to kind of regather your thoughts, and like, okay, what is really working and what really feels good to you, and how can you expand on that, and turning off all this noise. I mean, everyone I meet has so many ideas for me that is so amazing, and I'm so grateful for, but like you have to turn it off, and you have to listen to yourself. Otherwise, you can't do 200 things well. You've got to pick like 2 or 3.
We interviewed a lady named Jean Amlor, and she's a coach. She mentioned that when she started her business, people were like, "You should do a podcast right now. You should write a book. You should do this." And she's like, "Stop it. Just let me do this one thing for a little while and
Yeah.
like fail at that or try and tweak that." Like a lot of people will have ideas and some of them are magnificent, but maybe not for right now.
I know, I hate to get down on it because I'm so grateful and appreciative, but it's a lot of noise, and then you, like, close the door and you're like, "Oh, quiet, peace," and you can kinda like, "Okay, what do I wanna do? Like, what feels good to me?" Because if it doesn't feel good to you, it's not gonna feel good to your customers, and yeah, I think just starting slow is so important and understanding that, like, it's gonna take a minute and that's okay.
That's an awesome point about it feeling good to you and how that comes through. How have you stayed true to your authenticity throughout and the purpose behind this throughout this journey so far?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just experience. So I've tried things like I mentioned, like, oh, I'm going to do this big campaign or this thing. And then it doesn't work half as well as like me talking to people or me you know? So, I people really keep me real and keep me authentic, and, even online, it's so easy with AI, like, "Okay, AI, write me, 50 Instagram posts," and I'm like, "These are so good, I'm gonna go viral," like, and you're like, "Oh, this is not me, like, that's not how," and AI gets better, and I love using it as a tool, but, like, learning like, what connects to your audience and understanding that if you really wanna be a small business owner, like, using your heart and authenticity is how you stay connected. And so the business kind of keeps me authentic because it's so much a part of me. And when I try to change it, it like catches me off guard. But there are things that you can like automate and scale. Like you said, like you can recognize, like, okay, I'm not good at that. I can take that, step that aside. But as far as like, my passion and my purpose, like me sharing it and sharing my joy, and that is like part of the business model.
This is wonderful. We're going to link to your books and the website and
Oh,
your
thank you.
socials in the description. Tell us what's next for Scandinavian Hearts.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the holidays, so for Q4. So I love the idea of hearts, and like I said, I have my wood hearts and my ornaments. I have my books, and I just want to keep continuing to grow my product line to be more and more accessible to more people. And so I have some like home goods stuff and gift stuffs coming up for the holidays that I'm really excited about. And this idea of Scandinavian design and traditions, I think, can be in everyone's home. And I feel like as far as heritage goes, I find the more that I share and talk about my heritage, the more people share and talk about theirs. And I just love it. And so I love like taking ideas from other cultures and sharing ideas from mine. And so I'm really excited to share on a bigger scale and more products and yeah, just more.
How is Scandinavia at Christmas time? Is it like
Oh my gosh. It's so dreamy. It's so dreamy.
I'm
It's
looking for like the best place to visit at Christmas time and I'm
Oh.
like, that sounds amazing.
Do you like markets?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the holiday, like, Christmas markets are so it literally is like you're in a fairy tale, and it's so beautiful. You should definitely add it to your list.
Like a Hallmark, one of those Hallmark Christmas movies, The Prince and Me or whatever.
I know, I think there is one that's I mean, there's multiple ones that are filmed up there, and, yeah, the snow, the like I said, just, like, the little designs that are, like, in things. I think I mentioned, like, on the pothole covers on the streets, like, it's these things, this level of effort that's put into things and detail that just makes you feel so warm and cozy, and I don't know, it's very nice, you should go.
Okay. Well, I'll have to book it.
Yes, do it.
If you could leave someone who's either an entrepreneur or thinking about becoming an entrepreneur with a little nugget as we depart, what would you say?
I mean, I would say do it. Do the thing. We get so in our heads and there's so much noise going on and it's so distracting. But do the thing. If there's something in your heart, like it's okay to fail. It's okay if it doesn't work. It's okay like in this lifetime, like it's okay to pivot. It's okay to change. It's okay to do it on the side. It's okay to try. Just do the thing. And yeah, I think having no regrets, and even if it fails, at least you won't regret trying. And it could lead, who knows, like the people you'll meet and the impacts you'll have, even if it's just on a small scale. Do the thing.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with us today. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Uh, Thanks for having me, Chelsey. It's been so much fun.